24 months seem fair to me. This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. We're having a big closeout sale. I'm switching warehouses, so I'm trying to sell all of the stuff in my warehouse in Utah so we don't have to try to bring all this stuff over here. So you can buy an item. You'll get the next item half off. Every item that you buy, we'll throw a sticker in there for you. I'll make sure my warehouse is aware of that. So they'll throw a sticker in there for you. We got Let's Go Brandon stickers and all of that stuff. So we're trying to close out. Go in there and get you some items today. The link is in the description section. There's going to be some more sales if you're on the email list. For all of our customers on the email list, the text messaging list, we'll send out a special sale to you. Go on and take advantage of it because I really want to close out this warehouse so we can start fresh here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And for local people, you can come pick it up from the warehouse here in Scottsdale. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, Kim Potter, I think people got mad at me for railing her. And shout out to my boy, the Right Wing Angel. His Instagram is off the chain. I feel like I get all my news from his Instagram. But people got mad at me for being harsh with Kim Potter because she's a human and she had a career where she never did anything wrong. It doesn't matter. You shot a man when you thought you had a taser in your hand, but you actually had the gun in your hand. As a former police officer, it's nearly impossible to do unless you are completely incompetent as a police officer. Now, she may have been a great person. She may have escaped, serious situations for whatever reason for 20 plus years. But when you got a guy in a car trying to drive off, you get confused whether or not you pulled a taser or a gun, and your rookie didn't pull his gun out, and he a rookie, and the sergeant didn't pull his gun out, and both of them are in the car. If the guy pull off, they the ones gonna get drugged, and neither one of them pulled the gun out. So enough with the excuses of Kim Potter. She may have been exceptional, but you can't do something like this. Now, they sentenced her to 24 months in jail. To me, that seems reasonable. Why, Mr. Tatum, if she killed a person that she shouldn't have? Because there were a lot of contributing factors on behalf of Mr. Itchy McSnitchy over here, who decided to live a life of crime, was gang banging and thugging. He goes and tries to drive off with police officers in the car. When you do that, you create an environment where this is not a cut and dry, this person murdered you. This is a person had to use deadly force against you, would have been justified in using deadly force against you. However, she didn't know what weapon she used. That's why she got in trouble in the first place. With all of those components, there being a serious fear of life and death, and somebody shoots you, bro, you lucky they do anytime. If Kim Potter would have said, I intentionally shot Wright, Daunte Wright, she would have been justified, in my opinion, based on this would have been a justifiable case. The thing is that she did intend to shoot him and ended up shooting him anyway, which would be manslaughter. And 24 months ain't bad to me. I think you got to do some time for killing somebody, but it's cut and dry. This wasn't like Kim Potter just woke up one day and saw that it was a black man in the car and she put a gun on him. It was a lot of contributing factors. A person resisting arrest, fighting with her trainee in field training, trying to drive off with cops in the car and all this other stuff, could cause a person to make a mistake, which is exactly what happened in Kim Potter's case. It was actually a mistake. It was fatal. To me, it was absolutely out of control, but it was in fact a mistake. If she intentionally killed Daunte Wright, we would be having a different discussion. She would be doing time in prison like Chauvin and some of these other people that have been embarrassments to the police force. She would have gotten more time. But people, it's funny how people get weird when it comes to police. If you accidentally shoot somebody, and let me look at some comments because I think people had something to say. This person said murdered, question mark, or a statement. And this person said, did Alex Baldwin accidentally shoot his gun? Where's their energy on this case? That to me sounds reasonable. You know, an accident is very different than an intentional murder. And when you accidentally kill somebody, thank goodness in our society that they give you a second chance, because accidents do happen. And the more egregious the accident, the more time you get. The less egregious the accident, the less time you get. And I'll say this, and I'm going to finish it because I want to wrap it up because I don't want nobody twisting my words. If Daunte Wright wouldn't have been a felon with a felony warrant, shouldn't have been in possession of a firearm, and they believed he had a firearm, he shouldn't have been in possession of a firearm. If they weren't attempting to detain him because of a felony warrant, and he wasn't trying to drive off with officers in the car and doing all that stupid stuff, then this wouldn't have happened. And therefore, the accidental discharge of a firearm wasn't as egregious. It wasn't as egregious versus it just being him sitting there smoking a blunt and the cop pull a gun out and shoot him with no fear, no exigency, no way of weapons confusion, which they testified in the court of law. None of that being a factor, we would see a different outcome. Some officers that I know believe that she should have got more time, but I don't think so. This was in fact an accident. She was a first-time offender. Technically, she's a first-time offender. She don't have a criminal record, and this was an accident. And Stevie Wonder can see that she thought she accidentally shot the wrong weapon. We could all see that. Some of it come down to training, which is not 100% her fault. Some of it coming down to protocol, which is not 100% her fault. And so that's why they were a lot more lenient on her. I don't even care about the death of Daunte Wright. He ain't my kid. So if he was my kid, I would probably care a little more, to be honest. But he ain't my kid. But the reason that I'm not so flipping out over his death as if it was such a tragedy, he literally put somebody in a coma by being violent. Somebody, I think the kid, 18-year-old kid he put in a coma, I think the kid is a vegetable at this point. He lived a life of crime. He's trying to kill people. He's supposed to go to jail, but he's gonna drive off with the cops in the car. He got what he wanted to get. Now it's okay to be sad. It's okay to feel bad for him. I don't. It's okay to do that. If that was my son, I'd be mad, but I ain't gonna cover for him. I'd be upset with Kim Potter. I have the same energy I have now, how stupid it was for her to grab the wrong gun. But my son I'd be mad at him too, because he ain't had no business resisting arrest, fighting the cops. It'll hurt a little more because that's my baby, but I ain't finna get out there on the news and be acting like he a saint. I'd be saying, hey, I told him, my son down here now, he downstairs. I told him he shouldn't be cutting up. God don't like ugly. You keep messing up, you gonna get yourself in trouble. I'll be sad, I'll be crying, but I'll say I told you. And this is a lesson to all you other young boys. Don't be getting out here resisting arrest and acting a fool, because you're gonna lose your life or you're gonna go to prison. That's what I would say. And I'm being 100% honest. My son down there now, I tell him to his face, he already know where daddy's stand. You start, and I was a police officer. You don't disrespect police officers. You don't resist arrest. You don't sell drugs. We were watching a show last night of these people getting in trouble for rigging the ASU basketball game. You don't do things that are against the law. You don't do things that are not right. Why? Not because you somehow somebody's a better person, because it's going to lead to you getting in trouble. Do you want to go to prison? Do you want to spend the rest of your life behind bars? Because I'm not finna get you out. Daddy ain't bonding nothing. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money to get you out of jail when I told you you shouldn't be doing nothing like that. You're gonna sit in there and you're gonna take these consequences, and hopefully you learn when you get out. I ain't bailing you out. I ain't doing none of that, bro. You're gonna have to eat that. I don't care if I want to bail you out. You're gonna have to eat that one, because I done raised you better than that, and I ain't gonna play Captain Saver. You're gonna take it. You're gonna take every minute of that time you're gonna get for doing something I told you shouldn't be doing, because I can't whoop you now because you're grown. I could whoop you when you was younger. Now the government got to whoop you. Anyway, don't let me get on no rant. Comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Does Kim Potter Should she have been sentenced to 24 months or more or less? What do you think? Is this unjustified? Do you believe that Daunte Wright, thuggy, got what was coming to him, or you think he's some innocent little kid and he made mistakes and he didn't deserve to get shot after trying to drive off with cops hanging out the car? Anyway, comment in the comment section. Go to the Officer Tatum store, get your merch, warehouse. We trying to sell it all, baby. We trying to sell it all. So I love you guys. See you on the next one. I'm out.